We are getting into lesson 5 now, and here our focus will be on the sound plural. To understand this term sound plural, recognize that in English there are several words where we convert singular to plural by adding an S or by adding an ES. So from boy, we create a plural by saying boys. If we have one glass, the plural would be glasses. So we add this ES. These in English are sound plurals because we add a simple S sound or ES sound at the end and convert a singular to a plural. There are other words such as child where this simple rule does not apply. The plural of child is children, which clearly is not as simple as adding an S or an ES. The same thing happens in Arabic. There are some words where a simple rule cannot be applied to go from singular to plural. Those plurals are called broken plurals, and we'll discuss them in the next lesson. Here our focus will be on sound plurals where we have a very basic rule to go from singular to plural. In terms of our larger context, we are now over here talking about plural, and this falls under the number aspect of a noun. Now we look at how to create a sound plural for a masculine noun, and we'll start with a very simple noun, Muslimun. The plural of Muslimun is Muslimuna, and Muslimuna is in Rafa form. In the Nasab form, we have Muslimina. And in Jar form, we again have the same thing, which is Muslimina. And I hope you recognize the rule over here. We are simply adding a waw and a noon, and this is for Rafa. The letter before the waw, which would be the last letter in the singular, gets a dhamma, connects with the waw, and then we have a noon with a fatha. So Muslimun becomes Muslimuna, Mushrikun would become Mushrikuna. In the Nasab form, the last letter of the singular gets a kasra, and then we connect that with a ya, and then we have a noon with a fatha. So Muslimun becomes Muslimina, Mushrikun would become Mushrikina, and then for the jar form, we have the same thing. Now I want you to write the sound plural masculine for Mushrikun. So hopefully here is what you got. The plural of Mushrikun in Rafa form is Mushrikuna. In Nasab we have Mushrikina, and in Jar we also have Mushrikina. Moving to sound plural for feminine now. The feminine of Muslimun is Muslimatun. The plural of Muslimatun in Rafa form is Muslimatun. In Nasab form we have Muslimatin, and in Jar form we again have Muslimatin. And here the rule is that we remove the ta marbuta. So notice this ta marbuta is removed, and in Rafa form the ta marbuta is converted to an alif and a tha with a double dhamma. And whatever letter we have before the ta marbuta, so in this case we have a mim, that letter before the ta marbuta gets a fatha. So Muslimatun becomes Muslimatun. For Nasab form, the ta marbuta is converted into an alif and a tha with a double kasra. So instead of the ta marbuta, we go back to the letter just before the ta marbuta. That gets a fatha. This letter is then connected with an alif, and then we have a tha with a double kasra. So Muslimatun becomes Muslimatin, and in the jar form we have the same thing. So again the rule is that the ta marbuta is replaced by an alif and then a ta with a double dhamma for rafa, and in nasab and jar notice we have an alif and a ta, but for both nasab and jar, we have a double kasra. So this is important to remember. It might be slightly confusing because earlier we've talked about the nasab in general having a double fatha. That, however, is for singular. When we are talking about feminine plural, then for both nasab and jar, this last letter, which is going to be a ta, given that we are talking about feminine, this ta is going to have a double kasra. Now I want you to come up with the plural for mushrikatun, and your plural needs to be in rafa, nasab and jar. Hopefully here's what you got. Mushrikatun is the singular, the plural is mushrikatun, this is rafa, and then in nasab and jar we have mushrikatin and mushrikatin. Okay, exercise time now, and I want you to complete this table. Hopefully you've already done the singular and dual for these 4 words, Muslimun, Mushrikun, Mu'minun and Fasikun. Now you need to complete this plural row both for male and female. Pause the video and make sure you do this before looking at the solutions. So here is the solution for Muslimun, Mushrikun, Mu'minun and Fasikun. That is it for this lesson.